How's it? Welcome back outside. Today we're going to install the controller that we built for the misters and the sprinklers here underneath the sink where we can tie into a water line. Now our space is a bit tight here. What I would like to do is still build a little cabinet or a little cover that goes underneath here just to hide the drain pipes and all this sort of stuff and make it look a bit neater. So I want to try and keep this box within the profile of the underneath of the sink. It's pretty tight considering we've got this weird setup with the two intakes, but I'm going to try and make it work. So our plan so far is this. I've got one of these T-pieces for PEX. It's just one of the push-in connectors, super easy to work with. So I'm going to cut the incoming water line here, the cold water line. I'm going to install a T-piece. From that we're going to be able to come out and we're going to come into the two incoming lines on this box. So I'm going to put another T-piece here. So I can come in, split off this one, split off to this one, and then we might have to add one or two elbows along the way to make it all work. So the first thing you always want to do when you're working with your water lines is switch the water off. There is no isolation on this. It comes straight out. Here's my main tap. Here's a tee-off that goes to a garden tap, and I've tied in straight there. So I'm going to switch the mains off, and then I'm going to cut into this pipe, and we're going to get going. When you shut off your water mains, always remember to release the pressure in the system. So you can do that by opening a nearby tap up and just release the water, and also allow the water that's in the system to drain out so you don't make too much of a mess when you cut into a mains line. We'll let that drain for a couple more minutes, that line, and I'm going to leave it open. So anything, when you're cutting here, anything that's still stuck in, if there's any sort of suction in the system, it'll just pull out of this tap. Just remember to close the tap before you switch your water back on. So what you're going to do with these pieces of pipe is you've got this little sort of, they call it a support. So you stick this into the pipe and then you put on your connector, and that makes sure it's got something tight to grip to and the pipe doesn't collapse and leak. The ones I've got here are not exactly compatible. That's because the pipe and the fittings come from a different supplier, but if you just knock it a bit with a hammer, it works. What I did find is this pipe that's slightly thicker doesn't work when you have to use it with a normal compression tee. So you still have to put one of these spacers in, but because this pipe is slightly different, the inside diameter is slightly smaller, so this makes it bulge a little bit, and then when you fit in a copper compression fitting on, this pipe doesn't work. So this is one brand of the pipe. The one you need is the one that's called Speed Fit, I believe, and that's the one that's 100% compatible with these fittings. When I bought it, unfortunately, that was only available in 2 meter lengths, and I did have to buy one 2 meter length for this bit over here because this needed to fit into the compression fitting over there. So connecting these guys is super easy. You make sure your T is unlocked, stick it in, and that's it. You just tighten it up, and that's your connection. So it's a super easy thing to do, and this makes a proper watertight permanent connection in your system. Okay, so the T-piece is in. I hope I just haven't created a new leak somewhere on this connection here. There was quite a lot of movement when I was hammering that, but it should be fine. So the T-piece is in. Now we need to start looking at the rest of the system to come down here. So I think what's going to happen is that this is going to mount like this. So I'm going to put an elbow here, down T-piece over here, and then we go into these two sides. Okay, so this is pretty much what I'm going for here. I've got this connection here to a T-piece connected here. Now I just need to make a small connection on this line from here to here. And once that's done, I'll put 2 screws in, secure this to the wall, and then I'll be able to build a box that comes just on the inside of this, to sort of hide what's happening at the back here. So I want to get it in as tight in as possible as I can. So let me cut that little piece, then I'll fix it all together nicely, and then I'll put on the water to make sure that nothing's leaking, then I'll secure it to the wall. Okay, so I think I've got the connection. I'm glad all of this is going to get hidden away. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. So let me put in those connectors in all these spots. These pipe supports and all these connections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness. I'm one short. No. I thought I counted them. Let me check. So I'm one short on these guys. So I'm just going to quickly have to run to the shop and go get another packet of them. Flip, man. Okay. Okay, back from the hardware store. Got the last little fitting. I think every single person in Johannesburg was there today. It was an absolute nightmare. But that's cool. So we're going to put that last fitting in there. What I also got there when I was there is just some wood just to build the frame here, and I've got some leftover paneling, so we can just make a nice little panel thing to close off what all this looks like. So let's connect up. Okay. Right, so everything's connected. Now I'm going to put on the water and just really hope that nothing leaks. Okay, first leak. Not sure why that's leaking there. So I can't see any real good reason for that leak. I'm hoping that it was just a case of something just being on the seal. Put it back together. Does not want to seal nicely. On the upside, besides that leak, I think this one that's coming out, this connection, is the only one, so we'll investigate that now. While it's leaking, I'm just going to switch on these two taps and see if anything leaks further. Doesn't seem so. Okay, this is what's going on. We've definitely got leaks over there and over there where it fits onto this solenoid fitting. Now that's not the greatest news. It means I'm going to have to take these couplings off, more tape, and then reconnect. And at the same time I want to find out what's going on inside this guy here. This connection is good. The top connection here between this and this is good, but this one is not good. While I've got it like this, with just a minor leak, I'm also going to just pressurize these bottom ones and see what's going on that side. So this side, when I energize it, it's definitely got a leak here as well. So it seems the connections onto these valves definitely got leaks on them. Okay, so overall, lots of leaks. So let me take this thing off and start looking at all these connections again. Okay, after some very frustrating hours, I've actually gone and replaced all the seals, all the connections with hemp, not PTFE, and I think that seems to have solved the problem. But in the process, I managed to completely destroy all the silicone around this box. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch the water off, I'm going to isolate this whole thing, take it back to the garage, reseal the whole thing before I come and install it back. What I'm going to do in the meantime, though, is run all the other piping up to the misters and across to the sprinkler, so we can do that while the silicone dries. So I've siliconed everything back up, I've connected the water, I've turned the water on, no leaks on this side, and that's really the most important, because if it leaks on this side, I can switch it off. But at least we've got the water back onto the house. Now what I've done, as you can see, I've got this clamped up still everything's still dry in the silicone and whatnot. What I'm going to do now is connect my sprinkler pipe to this header, and I'm going to, this is the mister pipe and this is the sprinkler pipe to this header. Once that's done, I'm just going to leave all of this to nicely dry overnight before we switch the water on and test it. Cool. So nicely connected up. I'm just going to hoist some more silicone all over this thing just to make sure everything is nicely sealed and we don't want to get any water inside, especially here, because we've got this. In fact, I think I'm just going to move this guy up so it doesn't sit directly on the ground. I'm going to put a little space underneath there, so that just in case some water pools underneath here, we don't have any issues. So that's all done, and then tomorrow we'll give it a test run. So I've mounted the box, everything's secure, no leaks, and misters are working. So if you found this video useful or helpful, give it a like, let me know in the comments, consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, stay safe.